Yo, what's good, YouTube? It is Mr.BuyTheDip back here with another video. Today I will be talking about a stock that's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the stocks that really got me hooked onto stocks, to investing, to understanding the market, working with the market, knowing these patterns with the penny stocks, knowing how to stay down with certain stocks, just to be patient and earn some money, right? And that stock is NVIDIA. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and dig right into it, okay? Will NVIDIA go back up? When I mean back up, I mean like a consistent uptrend like it was doing the past year. Like from 2023, end of 2023 to like March, April, May, like NVIDIA was consistently shooting up. It had some massive gains and people were just, they were on their feet. They were talking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA was the hot topic, okay? Now, when that question is being asked, okay, you have to put a time frame on it. Will it go back up tomorrow? Heck no. Will it go back up in the next hour? Go back up to like $200 per share price when it's only like 118 right now? Absolutely not, okay? So when that question is being asked in your own head, or is being asked when you're discussing stocks with any one of your friends or family members or whoever, you have to say there should be a time frame on there. Look at the history, okay? That's the first bullet point I have in my notes. So if you look at the history of NVIDIA, okay, 130 August 22. It's currently September 13th, okay? So way below a month. It hasn't even been a month up, okay? We have time to go back up to 120s because we're not that far off. 130 to 119, 120, that is not a big gap, okay? That's about $15 here and there. If we go up, we can really make some moves, right? So that's definitely a yes. Look at the history. Will it go up according to the history? Yes. Because we technically need NVIDIA to be back around at 125, 120 around this time this month. So as we can see, August 22nd, NVIDIA was at 130.61, okay? So for September, I want to set a time frame of September 22nd. I need to see NVIDIA around high 120s, because that means the stock is consistent. It may not be all the way up to 150, 160, and people are making crazy money, but what I can say is it's consistent. Okay, the stock is consistent and it can keep progressing upwards, okay? The second bullet point here says realizing your position matters. As simple as it is, if you just got into NVIDIA when it was like 118, 119, 120, that's relatively high. I'm relatively high. A lot of people are relatively high. Now, the reason why I'm in so high, because I sold all my shares when it went all the way up to like 100, 130, 128, and I got back in when it went lower. So it's kind of like you have an excuse if you bought way lower than you sold, but a lot of people, what they should have been doing is buying at 105 or 110 and below, because there was plenty of time to buy that low. We can see from September 6 all the way to September 9, all the way to September 10, like it was constant 3 to 4 days NVIDIA was low, and it went even lower than that. If we go all the way back to like start of August, like everything was going perfect here, right? Everything is perfect, and then we have like one of the biggest dips, and it flew below $100, and it was like 99, 98, and a lot of people just bought shares, and some people sold at like 105, 110, but the goal was to honestly buy when it's that low. 110 and below, buy NVIDIA, because look at it right now. It's maintaining 118, 119. The lowest dip today was 117, so you can buy 110 and below. Like that's my buying point. So your position matters, because the lower you get in, the more money you make, okay? The better money, the more money you make is only if you get in as low as possible. Now I have above 118, the stock wants to get up. Now what I mean by that is whenever we see the stock is this low, it maintains that, right? But as it starts hitting 115, 116, as it starts approaching that 118, we realize it starts to be more consistent, and it wants to, it wants to fly by. And I know that because it happened literally in August. It was maintaining, then it went all the way up to 130, okay? Look at patterns. They exist for a reason. Patterns are very important, okay? I always pinpoint a certain high on a month. So last month it was August 22nd. This month I want it to be around there again, September 22nd. So that patience and realizing that pattern is going to get you rewarded. That's the number one thing about stocks and investing in CashApp or any platform, is being able to stay disciplined and stay consistent with realizing the share price each and every day. Okay, if it's 118, 117 right now, will it be this low on September 22nd? That's where my focus is. I want to check in between the days, right, leading up to September 22nd, but make sure you are not panicking before September 22nd. First of all, don't panic at all. This is a game where you can either win everything, lose everything, or you can lose most of your money, make most of your money back. Like, you shouldn't be panicking regardless. But if you feel like you're in a terrible position and you haven't even met the requirements of taking notes and making sure you're at the right time to be panicking, you're not a good investor. Okay, if I'm looking at August 22nd was the last time the stock was soaring high, and right now it's 118 and it's September 13th. Okay, that means you have a few days. Okay, that means you have 9 days, a week and 2 days, and you have 2 weekends in there. So really, you only have a week. In a week, the stock can do numbers in a week, and we're already in a good spot. So will it go up? Definitely. Yes, stay on the positive side. Now, let's say we have 2 days left till September 22nd and the stock is at 112, 110. Then will it go up? No, because then we can make an educated guess and say no, right? Dips are important. Now, buying dips are very important because they can always lower your position. What I mean by that is my position in the stock right now for NVIDIA is $124.16. So I'm not going to start making more money if my stock doesn't go higher than 124.16. Okay, very straightforward and simple. So in order to lower that position, what I can do is buy these dips. Boom, dip right here, 118, buy. If it dips down to 108, 110, 112, buy. You know what I mean? So dips are important. The W. Now, this is the pattern I love talking about, the W. This is a pattern that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of investors, a lot of good investors look out for and watch out for. If a stock is high, right, and it's been high for a moment, right, let's look from all the way to the left. We see the stock is going up, right? At the peak, we look at the peak, that red mark, that's the peak where the white line is crossing. And we see a big dip down below, or even towards the middle. I would definitely buy that, because look what happens. Because I guarantee all the way to the left of this chart, it was consistent. Okay, so when you see a big drop off like that in a stock, you want to make sure you buy. And then, because the potential gain is going to be double from the bottom pattern. So the potential gain is going to be higher than the last high. So if we look at the last W, the start of the W from the left, we look at that point, right? That's the highest point as of right now. We're not looking at the right side of the graph. Now, when we look at that big dip down below, that's a lot of money that people might be losing, right? But that gives a lot of other people who are watching that stock because it's high, it gives them a moment to buy. Okay, that's what it does. So when a stock is up and consistent, people probably have this stock pulled up on their TikTok page, on their YouTube live, right? And they're consistently watching that stock. They're waiting for it to go lower so they can buy it. So boom. So all the way from the top, it comes down and it becomes lower down here. So what happens? Those people, those demanders, they start to buy. They want the stock to be low, so they start buying, they start clicking, and they buy pretty low right here. So then it goes up. Some people sell right here, some people keep it. You don't want to get caught up in the middle though. Okay, there are two things that can happen. You can sell, take your profits here, or this can go lower and lower and lower. Okay, but sometimes a W pattern, I mean, this is the perfect W pattern. It just goes up, goes down, and you can either sell that. If you buy this low, you can make 2 times the profit. So let's say I buy for 500 down here, I sell for 700 down up here, right? I can buy again for 700 down here, and then sell for about 1,000 up here. So you make $500 worth of profit in 1 day of day trading. This is the number one big pattern I love to talk about when day trading, when looking at a certain stock that is low in price and getting a lot of shares, because that pattern can make you a lot of money. And we can see similar patterns to those usually in a lot of stocks. AMC does it. AMC always, it always has a pattern where it goes down and goes back up. But usually you want to make sure if you feel like this is going to happen, you kind of have to predict yourself, predict what the stock is going to do. And if you feel like that pattern is going to come, you got to go for it. Okay, you got to make sure you buy that dip, sell at the top, and make some money and get out. All right, thank you guys for watching the video. It's Mr. Buy the Dip. Like and subscribe.